Rose-colored glasses, take one.
Hi, I'm Dana.
And I'm Angel.
And you're watching Rose-Colored Glasses with Lord and Lady Logan.
In a world where people are quick to talk about the things they dislike, we want to keep it positive. So we'll be individually and collectively telling you about all the things we do like.
We hope you enjoy the show.
And if you do, please hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, and come back again. Hi everyone, I'm Angel Logan, and thank you for joining me today on Rose-Colored Glasses with Lord and Lady Logan. So I'm wondering, how many of you cringe at the thought of poetry, or you don't have fond memories of the kind of poetry that we learned in high school? Well, today we're going to take a look at my favorite type and what it means to take poetic license as it relates to my own writing style. Hopefully I can show you a different way of viewing poetry from the way you may have viewed it previously. Writing is a form of art, and art is self-expression, a way to be true to your spirit and convey your thoughts more freely. Poetry is a heightened and even more beautiful version of that expression. To me, poetry begins upon a blank canvas where thoughts and emotions meet creativity, and it's limited only by your imagination no matter what type of poetry. However, I believe that the free verse style is the most expressive of all, which is what I prefer for my own writing pleasure. Free verse is a literary tool that gives writers poetic license to create without restriction and without having to comply with the traditional rules or applications of rhyme, rhythm, and meter. This type of writing freedom transcends beyond the land of convention and conformity into a boundless world of adventure, tapping into your creative side, awakening the voice within your soul, overcoming the typical barriers that impede the writing process, and building confidence in your abilities, enabling absolute freedom of expression. Naturally, the first writers of the world were the ones to set the standard for all of us now. However, I think it is my responsibility as a professional writer to set a few standards of my own for future generations to follow, while establishing my own distinctive style of writing. This is one of the reasons that I enjoy free verse style so much, because it enables me to express myself more openly and connect to my readers on a deeper level through my own angel way of writing. Of course, I've never referred to myself as a poet because I feel that puts me in a box and limits me. Yes, I absolutely am a writer of poetry, but also I'm a writer of fiction, nonfiction, and so much more. I prefer my writing to be something more characteristic of me while embodying a certain lyrical cadence that most will recognize as an Angel Logan piece. My goal is to take my expressive style of poetry writing and infuse it into everything that I write, even if it can only be a subtle nuance throughout a piece, contingent upon the subject matter in which I'm writing. Think of your paper as a canvas. Sometimes you might need to add a little more life or dimension to your words, the same way that you would add color or depth to a painting. Adjectives, metaphors, and the use of symbolism offer the ideal way to awaken what you're writing with energy and emotion. A metaphor is a figure of speech that has the ability to relate certain objects or actions to thoughts and emotions, and that figurative comparison enables the reader to gain a deeper understanding of the intended meaning. For instance, which sentence sounds more appealing? He was very sad. Or, he was drowning in a sea of grief. Metaphors can transform ordinary words or phrases into captivating content, helping the reader to comprehend and envision the message that the writer is trying to convey more vividly. Here are a few other examples of metaphors. Lost in a haze of uncertainty, tangled in a web of deceit, tears collapsing into a river of loss, locked within the cages of despair. Symbolism is a figure of speech where an object, person, or situation has a deeper, abstract, or an entirely different meaning from its literal meaning. Writers use this technique to set a certain mood or convey a particular emotion as a subtle conveyance or message to the reader, and this is to bolster words with more profound meaning. For instance, the color purple represents royalty. Doves represent peace. Red roses might represent love. The color white might represent innocence. A mirror could describe how you see yourself inside. A tree's branches might represent the span of a large family. The word bubbly might characterize an upbeat or happy personality. And referring to darkness in a poem might mean evil or malevolence, and adjectives in general are the best way to paint your picture with words. An ominous sky might help the reader to envision impending storm versus a blue sky, suggesting that it's a perfectly sunny day. The somber expression on his face might help the reader to imagine someone's gloomy mood. A dark and dingy room offers a clear vision of an environment. Metaphors, symbolism, and adjectives are a fun way of elevating content that's dry in nature to a level that transports the reader into that setting, and it helps the reader to relate to what's written on more of an emotional level. We all remember the formal styles of poetry that we had to read and learn in school, and while there is much value to those classic styles, I personally still prefer having the freedom to express myself in a more relatable manner. I believe that poetry is the best and most artistic form of writing, and free verse enables me to explain my thoughts and experiences, describe other people's experiences through my eyes, portray a particular atmosphere, or convey intense emotion with more passion. Many don't realize that a poem tells a story just as much as a full novel, but the amazing thing is that you can share that story in the most picturesque fashion. Labyrinth of Illusion. I visit the place entangled within my thoughts where magic and mystery live. I seek the gateway to the unknown to discover the answers that haunt me while I sleep. Riddled questions dance through the fog, clouding the wonder beyond my awakening. Did the portal open, granting me passage through time? Perhaps my dreams are symbols of the panic that teases my mind. A mirage of fear is what tantalizes our imaginations with the ultimate paradox of hidden shadows. In the hours of darkness, we travel through a labyrinth of illusion, filled with twisted fantasies and unfamiliar memories that define our being. Once we've captured our bewilderment with the sword of faith and courage, all of our dread will fade away and light the path to the horizon of a new and brighter tomorrow. The fifth season. A timeless moment captured between then and now reveals the sacred portal of time that beholds the beauty of love's radiance. Two spirits whisper vows of ever after while sharing the innocence of yesteryear. The power of misgiving cascades into a whirlpool of darkness, protecting them from the bounds of disbelief. Trust carries their dreams into the reality of their heart's thirst, casting them into a season of abandon. Their bond frees them from the cages of despair, leading them through the chambers of hope. The fifth season lives beyond the walls of serenity, beyond the doors of unyielding love, and among the fields of faith. It's the bridge through times and broken promises, the cycle of infinite emotions, and the age of endless surrender. And while the vestige of its existence will always remain locked within the hearts of those who have loved, the fifth season will never be forgotten. Sands of Time. I dream of a time when life is simple and love is free, a time of wondrous fun and uncaged hearts. The motor roaring, the wind blowing, taking me to the height of serenity, hiding me from all of the fears of my mind. The test of trust and faith belongs to those nearest who can tear us apart, but miles and memories of those afar hold no risk of loss nor destruction. With you, I'm free of expectations, free to be me, unbound by the law of life, and true to the deepest part of my soul. We are the kind of love that stops for no one, that rules nothing and feels no pain. The bond that keeps the grains flowing, the wheels that keep the wind moving from now until eternity. We are the sands of time, the hourglass that keeps us true and free, and as long as we keep love in our hearts, the sands will never run out. I know that poetry isn't for everyone, but it can be a great tool to help you express yourself more freely, even if it's for your eyes only. When you have a quiet moment by yourself, try writing a little poetry of your own. Remember, with free verse there are no rules. Just write what you feel and what's in your heart. And perhaps it might be just what you need at the end of a long and challenging day. Poetry writing has done wonders for me along my journey, and I think it'll do wonders for you too. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you'll visit again to take a look through our rose-colored glasses. Until next time.